Hello again, Double Talk 73 here, your fishing friend. The 4th of July event is about to begin uh, tomorrow, I think, Monday. Anyhow, I thought it would be nice to put out a video of the progression of places to go, what to catch, and what to use to catch them, and follow it, you know. This is a long event. It takes a lot of time, a lot of money, and not too many coins if you use them judiciously. But here we go. Start out Emerald Lake. At Emerald Lake, you catch historic walleye with your rattlesnake worm, 4-inch, on a half-ounce jig with a 2/0 hook. Then you catch the historic, yeah, prehistoric pike. That'd be a bad fish. You catch a historic pike with the patriotic walker, half-ounce. Okay. Then you go to the dock, the broken dock over there on the back side to the right of the lake, and you get out of your boat and walk up and meet George Washington. Then there at Emerald, you go back over to the right corner and get the sunken canoe. Then you leave there and go to Lone Star Lake. In Lone Star Lake, you're going to catch historic bass, spotted bass, with your rattlesnake worm on a half-ounce jig, 2/0. Those are over on the right side off the bridge um, in an open area between two groups of lily pads to the right and kind of at about a 60-degree angle from the middle of the bridge. From there, you go to Mudwater. Oh, by the way, every time you go, don't forget to get your license because you'll be going back to these places several times. Okay, 3-day license if you can afford it, because like I say, you'll be going back. Except Emerald. Emerald is the last place you go again, and one day, uh, then at the end you'll be back there again. So no sense in buying a 3-day when you won't be. I'm telling you, this is a 5 or 6 day event. It takes a while. Lone Star. Okay. Then we go to Mudwater. There you're going to catch historic white crappie with a fireworks tube. It's 2-inch. It's a 1/4 ounce jig, number 1 hook, not a 1/0, a number 1. And when you spawn in at the first spot, you go walk forward to the water and you can fish to the right, right along the edge, or to the left along the edge uh, in the reeds. That's where they are. Then after you go there, then you go to Naren Lake in North Carolina. There you're going to catch historic black crappie. You're going to use Revolutionary Craw with a 1/4 ounce jig and the number 1 hook. Now, some of these lures, you have to use coins to buy them if you don't already have them left over from last year. Uh, Sad fact, but that's just the way it is. Then, while you're in Naren, you get the canoe, which is when you step out on the bridge, it's to the left of the bridge. Okay, from there you go to Rocky Lake. There you're going to catch historic cutthroat bass. You're going to use the bison spinner. Okay. There you can also catch the historic golden trout. With that, use a Revolutionary Craw, 1/3 ounce jig, and a 1/0 hook. Not a number 1, a 1/0 hook. From there, you're going to go to Falcon Lake. At Falcon Lake, you're going to catch historic brown trout. There, you're going to use 13 arrows deep runner, a 3/0. Now, that deep runner is going to bounce along the bottom. it doesn't seem to matter. The fish will still hit it. Okay, while you're at Falcon Lake, you get the Falcon sunken canoe. Okay, then we're back to Naren again. Okay, there you're going to catch historic smallmouth bass. Use the American spinnerbait, 3/4 ounce with a 3/0 hook. After you catch the required number there, you're going to go to the Everglades. And at the Everglades, you're going to catch the historic peacock bass. You're going to use a Liberty medium spoon, 1 ounce, 4/0 hook. From there, we're going to go to Louisiana, Quachican Lake, historic largemouth bass. There, you're going to use a bullfrog popper, 5/8 ounce with a 3/0 hook. Once you catch the required number of them, then we're going to go to St. Croix Lake. You're going to catch historic white bass there. You're going to use the Old Glory grub, it's 2.5 inch, and a 1/2 ounce jig with a 2/0 hook. While you're there, then you have to go back to Quanchican and get the sunken canoe there. See how all the travel you're having to do? It takes a lot of money to do this. So start off with $250,000 to $300,000 anyhow. And at the end of the game, as you progress, you're going to get money back and coins. And at the end, when you finish doing all the cannon salutes, I think it's $17,000 plus 13 gold coins, bait coins you'll get. Anyhow, go to Louisiana and get the sun canoe. Then back to Mudwater. In Mudwater, you're going to catch historic grass pickerel. They're tough. You're going to use star stripe shad, 2 inch, 1/2 ounce jig with a 2/0 hook. You spawn in there's 3 spots there. You spawn in at the one down on the bottom left, go to the water, and then move up towards the log, and then fish. Up there, there's 2 logs stumps sticking up out of the water. You want to fish along the reeds to the left shore side of that first log, starting 5 a.m., 5 to 6. That's the best place. Then we're back to Louisiana. In Louisiana, you're going to catch historic chain pickerel. They're kind of tough too. You're going to use the eagle spoon, 5/8 ounce, and the way you catch them is when you land at the pecan hut, turn to the right and go right straight out all the way to the end, and the open water there on the end to the left, and kind of to the right side out, there are 2 large trees and some bushes in front of it, and you fish kind of just a little ways to the right of the edge of those bushes. Bring it back to you in a 2-speed and stop and go. Anyhow, after we catch the chain pickerel, then we go back to St. Croix, okay, and we're going to catch a historic muskie there. There you're going to use a striped jerk bait, 3/0. The best I found to fish them is I got my boat, went over to the Pike Alley, and if this is the map over there, here's Pike Alley. Over here there are some lily pads over in the corner, and you cast out in front of those lily pads and bring it back to you. That's where I caught the historic muskies. After that, we're going to California, San Joaquin Delta. You're going to catch a historic steelhead trout. You're going to use 13 arrows deep runner. Okay, once you catch there, you go to the last rock and turn to your left, and there's a row of rocks over here, and you cast over beside those rocks on the left side and bring it in. 1 speed, same thing. It's going to bounce along the bottom. Try to keep it just off the bottom. Okay, now after that, we're going to go to Alaska. California, Alaska, expensive traveling. In Alaska, you're going to catch a historic Chinook, Chinook salmon. You're going to use a grizzly claw bullet spinner, 1 1/4 ounce, 4/0. You go to the third island. On the third island, when you're looking at it, there's a little part that sticks out. You want to stand right on that and cast it about this angle. There's a lot, 3 large trees over here. Cast for the one in the middle, okay, and bring it back 3-speed. Bounce it along the bottom as best you can. After that, you go back to St. Croix, okay, and that's where you get your sunken canoe. When you spawn in at dusk to dawn, so you've got the lighthouse here. Let me do it this way. You got the lighthouse here, and then the spillway, and then dusk to dawn right here. Spawn in at dusk to dawn. Go to the left, top left corner. Get down in the sand. Walk all the way around the shore there, and when you get over to the reed, you'll see the sunken canoe over there on the left. And every time I go to these sunken canoes, I use one of my bottom rods to fish out. No matter what bait you get on it, I put a 6/0 hook, 7/0 hook, doesn't matter. But I got an 8-ounce sinker so that it'll go down in the water and stay there. That way you can drag it back along the back into the end of the canoe that's sunken under the water and hook up on the sunken metal chest, the relic chest. That's what you got to have to get the parts of George Washington's sword. Okay. Once we got that one, then we go back to Falcon Lake again. Falcon Lake. Okay. And there you're going to catch historic rainbow trout. You're going to use an Old Glory grub, 2.5 inch, on a 1/2 inch, not 1.5, ½ inch, ½ ounce jig, 2/0 hook. You can spawn in at the boat launch and go to the rocks over to the right and cast out straight towards the waterfall, but you have to cast out 260 feet almost, and then bounce it along the bottom, real close to the bottom. Keep it just barely off the bottom. Or you can get in your boat and go out there and try to keep that angle from where that big rock is and the waterfall and go about halfway, and you only have to cast out about 150 feet. And that's how I caught mine. Okay. After you catch those, then we're going back to Florida. And in Florida, we're going to catch historic snook. There you're going to use the Salute Nymph 4 inch, 1.5 ounce jig, and a 4/0 hook. Go to Salty Delta. Just move out straight on out to the middle or to the left end. And if you look straight out, there's 2 trees, bushes, whatever, sticking up in the water. And there's some little shrubs or stumps sticking up out of the water. Just beside them is where you want to cast. And it's almost a maximum cast with a heavy rig. And you're going to need a heavy rig because the snook go around 30 pounds or so. So now that one's at night, starting at 9 o'clock. 9 o'clock peaks. Okay. Okay, after that, catch the number of those. Then we're back to California. In California, you're going to catch a historic striped bass. You're going to use Star Spangled crankbait. It's 12 inch. Now, the way I caught mine, I go to the last rock, and over to the right, there's a tree, and there's 3 rocks in the water, and some bushes. That rock in the middle is the biggest one. Aim for the middle of it, throw up against it, and bring your crank back at a 1 speed. Now it's here again, same thing. It's going to want to dive down to the bottom. You have to just keep pumping, 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 pumping. Your left mouse button reeling in. If this is the distance from the top of the water to the bottom, you want to keep it right in here. It's not easy, but you can do it with a little practice. So that's how I caught mine. After you catch the striped bass, then we're going back to Alaska. Here's another toughie. The historic bull trout. You're going to use the I Want You spoon, 1 ounce, a 4-aught hook. And you want to go to the Middle Earth. I like to jump across the log. To me, that's fun. And go out there, and out there are 2 rocks. They're parallel. And then up here is a single rock. What you want to do is you want to stand where you can cast kind of to the middle or to the right of those parallel, where you can throw that lure up close to the side of that single rock and work it back through there at 1 speed, bounce it along the bottom, but you want it to drift between those 2 rocks. That's a 5 to 6 a.m. Believe me, those and the grass pickerel are probably the toughest ones to catch. You only need 3 of those bull trout, but they're going to be hard. Okay, then once you get that, go back to California and you get your sunken canoe. The way they get your sunken canoe there is you get in your boat and head off to the right. Now there are channels over on the right, and you can go to the first channel to the right, go down to keep to the right, go down to the end, and where the other reeds are on your left, at the end of those is where the canoe is. Go on past it a little bit where you can cast back to the end of the sunken canoe, and that's where you get the metal chest there. After you get that, if in Lone Star they have 3 new billboards down there, they're really pretty. Let me show those to you. They're pretty cool. It's going to send you to Lone Star to do these techniques. There's the casting technique, long and short cast, the retrieve, stop and go, steady, float, and each time you'll catch a fish. You just do what it says to do. Okay, they're not up yet because the mission hadn't started. But when the mission starts, over here, there will be right in here 3 new billboards. They're nice, bright, shiny white. Go over there and click on each one of those with the first time you come to Texas. Okay. Do not forget, each time you go to a new waterway, fire the cannon, raise the flag. When you fire the cannon, you may or may not get a reward. When you raise the flag, you may or may not get a reward. When you raise the flag, usually what you get are fireworks. They're good to have fun on the 4th of July, but they're extremely helpful on the Christmas event when you go and have to fire the fireworks while you're fishing in order to catch the different fish. But be sure and fire the cannon, because at the end, you've got to have fired the cannons all total 50 times in order to get your treasure map, the very last thing. Okay, anyhow, so do all those training things that it asks you to do there in Lone Star, and it's got them highlighted, so it's not a whole lot very difficult. You just click on the one that's highlighted in yellow. Before you go there, you're going to have to remove 1 or 2 of your rods in order to leave space to build rigs. That is going to teach you how to build rigs easier. Okay, do all the training techniques. Once that's done, you go back to Emerald Lake. You get in your boat. What in the world is that? Okay, it's going to cut me off if I click anything. Anyhow, you go back to Emerald Lake. You go over to the dock, walk up and give George his sword. Then at that time you have to have all 50 cannon shots fired, or you only get to do one every 24 hours. Now that's real hours. That's not game hours. That's real time hours. So please do not forget to fire a cannon when you go to a lake. Make sure, do that first. Fire the cannon, raise the flag. And if you don't remember whether you did it or not, when you get there, go check it out. If you walk up to the cannon, it's going to tell you you got 14 hours, 16 hours, whatever, until one per day. Same thing with a flag, but please do it every time you go to new waterway. Once you fired it to 50 times, uh, you're going to get the treasure map, and the treasure map's going to tell you where to go next to get your treasure. Now, all these items that you earn, it's not going to let me do it. You're going to get a Canon uh, casting reel. You're going to get some other things. You can keep them. You can sell them. You can sell them for bait coins. Uh, if you're running low on bait coins, sell them. Because anything else in this game that you need to buy, you can buy with cash or those bait coins that you're going to use. You can't advance time unless you got bait coins, or you got to sit and wait for the cooldown period. So that's the progression. And I know it's long, and it's, believe me, when I was doing it uh, in the testing area, it took me 4 days to complete everything but the cannon fires. And I didn't realize that I had to have 50. Didn't remember that from last year. So that's why I emphasize each time you go to a lake, fire the cannon. And it's going to take you 7 or 8 days to complete this. Just be sure. There are 11 lakes that have cannons. There's not a cannon in white moose. There's not a cannon or a flag at blue crab. So those two you don't have to worry about. So that's something else I'll tell you that'll help you as well. A lot of money and a bunch of coins. So if you can, go to St. Croix and farm catfish or farm pike, or if you're level enough, you can go to blue crab and farm uh, tarpon and permit and red and black drum. Get your cash up before you start this, or in the middle of everything, you're going to have to quit and go build your cash back up. Okay, that's what I got for you. I'm sorry it's so long, but it's a long mission. Uh, to finish it, you will have accomplished something. Believe me, it's pretty entailed. So thank you for watching. Please subscribe if you liked the video, and I certainly hope this helps. Uh, if I'd have had this information, see, I had to hunt everything, where to go, what to catch, what to use. Now, in the mission statement, it shows you what to use, tells you what to catch, doesn't tell you where to go. Uh, there's white crappie in Louisiana. There's white crappie in Mudwater. Which one do you go to? You just, if you go the wrong one, you're not going to catch the right fish with the right lure. And that's something else. When you're fishing uh, in different places, like if you're fishing for rainbow trout, historic, you'll catch historic browns. So take a big enough rig that if you get a, let's say a uni brown trout or a uni rainbow, it's going to go about 9 pounds. You need a 21-pound rig at least, so you don't lose your lure. Lose your lure, you got to buy it again. Make sure that you take a big enough rig with you that wherever you fish, you don't lose any of your lures. Okay, especially the ones you have to pay coins for. They get expensive. So thanks again. That's all I got to say. Please subscribe if you'd be so kind, and click on that bell over there so that you get notified whenever I put up any new videos. So God bless you and your family. And this is Double Talk 73, your fishing friend. And I'll catch you out there later. If you see me in a game, have any questions, please ask. I'll be glad to answer. So y'all come back now. You hear?